Welcome back, everyone. In today's tutorial, we're diving into an advanced Power BI tip that can really take your reports to a whole new level. I'm going to show you exactly how to create a custom numeric range slicer using a parameter. By the end of this video, you'll be able to let your users filter data dynamically. For example, imagine letting them see only the products whose sales increased by a chosen percentage, like between 10% and 30%. This creates a way more interactive and tailored report experience, especially when you want to analyze data ranges rather than singular values. Alright, let's jump right in. For starters, let's clarify why we're not just using a standard slicer on a numeric column. Sure, that works in basic cases, but if you want true flexibility, and especially if you need to filter by something like a calculated percentage increase, you'll want something more dynamic. That's where parameters come in. They act a bit like the control knobs on a soundboard, letting you or your users set the exact range of values they want to focus on. First step is to create a parameter table. In Power BI, go to the Modeling tab and select New Parameter. Now you'll set up this parameter as a numeric range. In our scenario, it'll represent a percentage increase. You can customize it to have, say, a minimum of 0, a maximum of 100, and increment by 1 or 5, depending on how fine-grained you want the control to be. And don't worry, Power BI automatically generates a slicer for you based on this parameter, so users will get that familiar slider experience. Take a moment here to name your parameter something clear like increase percent range, so it's absolutely obvious what it controls. This will really help if you or anyone else revisit this file in the future. Next up, you'll want to use this parameter to filter your visuals. To do this, you need a DAX measure that calculates your key metric. In this example, percentage increase in sales for each product. There are a couple of ways to do this, but typically you'll compare the sales for your current period versus a prior period, and then use the formula for percentage increase. New value, old value, old value. Wrap that up in a measure and make sure you format it as a percentage for clarity. Believe me, it makes interpreting the chart so much easier. Now here's the cool part. You'll use the values from your parameter table to set the lower and upper bounds for this calculated percentage. Write another measure that checks if a product's sales increase falls between the parameters selected minimum and maximum. If it does, return 1, if not, return 0. You'll use this as a filter so your visuals only show the data that matches the user's chosen range. It's almost like you've created a smart, custom filter that thinks for the user. With this setup, all you have to do now is add the parameter slicer to your report page. Drag it on, you'll see that interactive slider appear. Next, set your new filter measure as a visual or page-level filter. Set it to only show rows where the value is 1 and you're all done. Your report visitors can now drag the slider anywhere they like, for example, narrowing down to products where sales jump between just 10% and 30%. The charts and tables update instantly to match. It's intuitive, it's flexible, and it adds a level of control that basic slicers just can't match. And that's it. You've just made your Power BI dashboard significantly smarter and more user-friendly. If you found this useful, go ahead and hit that like button. Questions or run into a snag, drop a comment below. I'm always happy to help. And if you want more Power BI tips like this, don't forget to subscribe. There's plenty more in store. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.